Good morning, guys. Let's see today's Bible story. David, who fled away from King Saul with the help from the Jonathan, need to go into hiding in the desert. King Saul continually tried to kill David, and this was because people liked David more than King Saul. And one day King Saul heard about where David was hiding, and King Saul came to there with his soldiers. While looking for David, King Saul and his army took a rest in a cave. And actually the cave was where David and his followers were. David and his followers found Saul, and David's followers whispered to David, David, go and kill Saul. God gives you this opportunity. How would David do? David came near to Saul and just cut off a corner of Saul's cloth. David said to his followers that I should not do anything against him because he is God's anointed king. Yes, it was a good opportunity for David, but he did not do that because he thought it is not the thing that God was pleased. So David just waiting for God's timing for him with the trust that God will make him a king in a one day. Later, when David was hiding in a hill, Saul became to know about it, and he came to the hill. And David also became to know it and came to Saul's camp very late night, including King Saul. The people in the camp was in sleeping, and they did not know that David came into their camp. David's followers said to David that it is God's opportunity to kill Saul. But David said, don't kill Saul. No one can harm God's anointed king. Again, David waiting God's timing when God makes him a king as God promised. And after this, David fled to land of Palestine, the enemy of Israel. It was a really hard time for David, but with the faith, David was waiting. And Philistine army came to Israel again, and there was fighting between the Philistines and Israel. And during this war, King Saul was died, and later David became a new king of Israel. Waiting God's timing is hard sometimes, but we need to do it because God is always faithful and God is always loves you, and so that we need to waiting for God's timing while do something that God is really wants for us to do. That is the life of Christian. Amen. See you next Sunday.